Greetings, everyone. This is Darcinovia here, back with another live stream. It's not going to be as long as the last one. This is mostly going to be talking about this stupid bring justice to Ariel, fucking hashtag, which has been trending online by white conservatives and some non white, to be fair. But what are you guys complaining about with white Ariel anyway? It's such nonsense. Oh my god! They dare cast a black actress to play a mystical creature that could be literally fucking anyone. My god, this is getting ridiculous. Can you reactionaries seriously be honest and just say that you just can't stand brown people? Seriously, can't you reactionaries just be honest and stop trying to hide? Oh, I'm not a racist like the Geeks and Gamers does. And it's like, oh, why are you being woke? There's nothing woke about having a fucking mystical creature be fucking played by a black actress. And don't give me that garbage about the original tale. Oh, and the original tale it took place in Europe, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you guys don't even know about most of you don't even know anything about the original fairy tale. You guys claim, Disney's disrespecting the source material because they're having a black woman play a non-white Disney character. You guys do realize you have the original Little Mermaid, right? No, they couldn't make Black Panther as a white guy. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. Just white conservatives get so fucking triggered every time a non-freaking white male is in the lead role of a movie. All you have to do to trigger these fuckers is to just have a non-white male in the lead role. They're so fucking triggered. And they're so stupid, too. Do they not know that mermaids are mystical creatures? And mystical creatures don't have a fucking race. There's so many different interpretations of fucking mermaids throughout the world that's not the same as ours. You have some cultures that have mermaids look like monsters that don't even look beautiful like in our culture. And if someone wants to have a black actress as Ariel, so what? So what? So fucking what? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I acted this way with the fucking Mary Jane situation with Spider-Man Homecoming, so I'm guilty of doing this in the past. But then again, I was a dumbass. But I've learned a lot since then, and I realized just how stupid this anti-SJW thing is. It's like I just took a look for curiosity at Geeks and Gamers comment section. My god, those ghouls are not even hiding their racism or their transphobia. Yeah, it would. And as for a black Ariel, I don't care. As long as she could sing and act, who cares? I have no strong feelings one way or the other. I'm not pleased that they're doing another remake, but to be honest, it was inevitable. Not if you care about historical accuracy. Oh, you can't have he has to be the person he was. But here's the thing about these people. They were completely silent when you had white people play Egyptians. People from ancient Egypt. You have the whitest motherfuckers play people that were actually black. So you don't hear these people complain about whitewashing, but the moment they have a minority play a character that they consider white, oh, it's whatever washing. It's so stupid. And then some of these people were like, I don't know if they're fucking stupid or they were trolling. By the way, if you care to know what I think of Milan doesn't look bad, surprisingly. Yeah, that's like, oh, so they're only true to the source material of Mulan because Mulan isn't white. Here's the thing: if you're not convinced at this point that these people are racist, I don't know what to tell you. When they use that excuse, oh, they're faithful to the source material for Mulan because Mulan is Asian. No, they're more faithful in your mind because Mulan's fucking Chinese. It would make no sense to have a movie that takes place in that part of China to be played by anyone but a Chinese woman. Yeah, it's not mine. Yeah, but that those weren't in the source material as far as I recall. I don't know what they're gonna do with this remake. This remake is, I know it's not gonna be based off Disney's version because that's the problem with these people. They think the Disney version is the source material, and it isn't. It's like all you have to do is a little bit of research to find out all these classic Disney films that people have loved in the past, you know, almost 80 years now, are based on public domain stories that aren't even close to being like the originals. Because some of them are pretty damn fucked up in how they end. Like an example, in the original Little Mermaid, Ariel commits suicide. She doesn't marry the prince. She commits suicide. Uh, and the ending for Cinderella is pretty graphic too, depending on which version. There's one version where where the sisters have their freaking eyes fucking, you know, ripped from their heads by freaking crows. There's just so many fucking, seriously, look up this crap. These stories are fucked up in some ways, and what happens to the characters in the original source material. I can't talk about Aladdin because I'm not familiar with the source material for Aladdin. But if these people truly cared about the source material, they would actually not like the originals. Well, I'm sorry, dude, but mermaids are not white, nor are they black. They could be anybody. Ariel isn't white. I don't care what anyone says. She isn't white. Mermaids are mystical creatures. Oh, it doesn't really matter. So, honestly, there's been so many different interpretations of the Little Mermaid up until this point that there really isn't one particular definitive version except the original fairy tale, and they're not going to base it off the original fairy tale because it's too damn dark. Honestly, that's apples and oranges. Mermaids are mystical creatures. Mulan was a Chinese woman in a Chinese legend. That's apples and oranges. You cannot compare the two. Well, okay, here's the thing about this nonsense, this justice for Ariel. Ariel's a fictional character. These people still have their version of Little Mermaid. There's been so many different versions of of this fairy tale in some way in the past century or so that there isn't really one particular definitive version. The only reason the Disney version's considered, the definitive version because that's the one that's the most popular. There isn't just one version of these fairy tales. I really don't care, to be honest, about if they. Honestly, I think it's nonsense to get triggered over this. Come on, man. This is. And as for, I'm not going to answer your question, Attack on the Man, because I think it's inappropriate. I really don't care, to be honest. Honestly, mermaids are mystical creatures. I don't give a shit. Same thing with elves, dwarves. It doesn't matter what their fucking color of their skin is. They're fucking they're part of a fantasy universe. If they're not really grounded in reality. The way she is, if they cared about if they really cared about her being the way she is, they would not be freaking championing the version that they grew up with. They'd be championing the grim fairy tale version, which is the original version of the story. And I don't think most people would even know that version even exists in the first place. I can't. I wouldn't be able. I'm too far, even if I wanted to go. As for Ariel being the way she is, we don't even know what this version of Ariel is going to be like. I mean, you do realize you can just simply not watch the movie. Honestly, this anti SJW shit is getting so out of control now. It really is. All it takes is for one non-white person to be in the lead role of a fucking movie, and that's it. They get so fucking triggered. Well, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know if you're a Nazi or you're a racist, but if that's your reason for not watching because she's black, I think you're a racist. I'm sorry. You're not fooling me. Well, the thing is, I'd rather them do a new story than do another Little Mermaid. I didn't have time for that. It was hastily, I decided to hastily do this. Hold on, well, here's the thing. The version of the Little Mermaid we grew up with is not the original. The source material is, and that's not the source material. I don't care if she was a white human. It doesn't change the fact that she's a mystical creature to begin with. I mean, seriously. I think it's ridiculous that people are triggered over this. There's so many things that they could be talking about. Honestly. I mean, they should wait for a trailer. I mean, if my problem is with these Disney remakes is a lot of them are shot-for-shot remakes of the originals. There's barely any differences in the stories that they're retelling. Rather than just do a new story, which they have plenty of stories in the public domain that they could pull from that tell stories. They're retelling the same old story. I'm sorry, even if you got a white actress to play Ariel, it would not be the same. And honestly, we live in 2019. I'm sorry, dude. Get with the program. Um, I know you're not white yourself, but as a white person, I think whites are the most overrepresented portion of the population, and I think it's time that we start representing more parts of the population than white males. I'm sorry. This is just racism. Not you, but a lot of conservatives are just triggered that a non-white male is in the remake. Well, not white. Well, non-white woman. It's just racism. Plain and simple. I don't care if she's black. As long as she's able to sing and act decently, that's all that's required. And unlike the other version, it's been a long enough time where a remake might be warranted for a new at this point. Even though I don't think there is a remake is necessary, but I could see the logic in it because it's been 3 decades since the first Little Mermaid came out. And whether you like it or not, Disney's going to continue to do remakes. Princess and the Frog will get a remake in the future, even though it's 10 years old at this point. Lord of the Rings, that's okay. I got to talk about Lord of the Rings for a second. When it came, Lord of the Rings is not white supremacist. That's just absurd, honestly, considering the fact that J.R.R. Tolkien was influenced by his what he experienced in World War I and his religious beliefs. Saying that Middle Earth is white supremacist is absurd. It really is absurd. Only a stupid SJW B level would freaking say that. They obviously never read the books or paid attention to its themes. There's nothing white supremacist about Lord of the Rings. Nothing. It's absurd to think otherwise. To be honest, I actually, when I heard of Black Ariel, I thought it would have been Zendaya that would have played her, not this other chick. As for... I don't care if whites are the majority. To be honest, I don't care about white people. Whites are overrepresented. Honestly, they're not the majority worldwide. Honestly, they are, and I have no problem with whites becoming a minority in my country because I think it's racist nonsense because white people don't want to actually feel what it's like to be a minority. It's like, fuck white people. These white conservatives. Seriously, I don't care. The whole world doesn't revolve around white people. Honestly. Fuck them. I agree. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. And anyone that says it's white supremacist is an idiot. They really are. I'm sorry, but you're saying when someone says they're not going to see a movie because a freaking black woman is in the lead role of a movie, yeah, I suspect that you're a racist. I'm sorry. Liberals can be racist too, and I don't know what you are, but I'm sorry. I have zero tolerance for for you people here. I hope you're not a racist, but honestly, from my experience of dealing with people like that who say shit like that, my racist radar fucking goes off. I don't trust racists because they lie. Hey, non-whites are capable of being racist, and non-whites can be white supremacists. It's not fucking impossible. It's not fucking as outlandish as you would think. I don't care if I'm a minority. Fuck race. I hate race as a construct. I think it's fucking cancer. I don't care about being a minority. I think anyone that's afraid to be a minority is a fucking idiot. I'm not afraid to be a minority. Black Panther isn't comparable to fucking Little Mermaid. What is wrong? Why are you why are you Nazis so dishonest? Seriously. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fucking put up with this crap. No, I'm not arguing over fucking a white Black Panther because it's freaking absurd. Jesus. Who cares? I don't fucking... Hollywood always has an agenda. Their agenda is money. Money is their fucking agenda. Where have you been? We're in a capitalist society. Their agenda is money. They don't give a shit about anything but money. I mean, why is this so hard for people to grasp? Well, racial issues are a fucking problem. They're connected to everything. Race is connected to all our problems in society. Honestly, it's just conservatives don't want to fucking talk about it because they have to face the fact that they're contributing to this problem. Racism contributes to income inequality. Race contributes to our violent foreign policy. You can't just ignore the topic of race unless you want to put your head in the sand. It's insane, honestly. If you don't want to, This is why I just don't. I have zero tolerance for at this point for apolitical people, because apolitical people are the same kind of dipshits that are that support fucking fascists like Donald Trump and his psychotic freaking administration. This entire anti-SJW culture is cancer to me. If I wanted to, I can explode in subscribers by being an anti-SJW, but I'm not going to do that. If I lose subscribers for my honesty, then I don't care. At least I'm a real person. And it's ridiculous. To this day, we're still having this discussion about a fictional fucking character, honestly, who's a mystical creature. If it's Black Panther, this is why I blocked this one person just now, because I'm not going to have a fucking debate over, oh, would you be okay with a white Black Panther? Because it's absurd. It's really stupid. My God. As for Mulan is like probably might be the most original of the remakes, and I use this word loosely because Mulan has a lot of has a different interpretations too in China. Nope, racism and affirmative action are not fucking, has nothing to do with what you're talking about. No, you can't be racist against whites because whites hold all the fucking power. Being prejudiced and being racist is not the same thing. I don't feel like I'm fucking under threat under this system. It's the people that are non-white are constantly under threat under systematic racism. Whites are not even fucking oppressed at all. It's nonsense. And I'm saying this as a fucking white fucking guy, the whitest motherfucker here, and I'm not oppressed at all. Not at all. I may be oppressed in other ways, but not for being fucking white. It's this idea of fucking white people being oppressed is so fucking absurd. It's ridiculous. Only a reactionary believes this nonsense. I honestly, it's ridiculous. It's these same idiots fucking that believe in the great replacement or believe in the nonsense that's going on in South Africa. It's like it's just white people are fucking victims. They act like professional victims all the goddamn time. The most powerful part of the population is the biggest fucking snowflakes in the fucking world. Like fucking Christians are the exact same way. They act oppressed despite the fact they have more power than any other part of the population. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that the most powerful part of the population in the country is acting like they're oppressed when they're not. It's ridiculous. I hope you're kidding, man. If you're a Jewish questioner, I don't care who you are. You're on my shit list. I hope you're not going there. I really hope you're not going there, man, because I don't have a tolerance for Jewish questioners here. I don't care. You could fucking believe in the Nazis' ideas. I don't have a tolerance for your fucking shit. Jesus. I wish reactionaries would be honest with people and stop trying to pretend. Oh my God, it's like, aren't you the people that complain about identity politics? Yet you're fucking pulling identity politics, saying, "Oh, I can't be a Nazi because I'm black. I don't care. I don't care." It's like, didn't you learn anything from Ben Shapiro, your freaking Lord and Savior? This is identity politics you're fucking playing here. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. I wasn't referring to you, man. I was referring to the other guy. So Yeah, Shapiro is a piece of shit. He truly is a piece of shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Shapiro did his own fucking segment on this shit. These fucking right-wing people cannot resist bitching about fucking everything and everything. And the left are considered triggered. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of idiots on the left. I would, as someone that leans left. But that doesn't change the fact that conservatives get so triggered so much more. It's not racist, it's prejudice. Racist and prejudice are not the same thing. They really aren't. It's possible to be prejudiced because prejudice is something is more of an individual thing. Racist is systematic. Non-whites are not in any position to oppress white people. It's absurd to actually believe otherwise. Honestly. It's just... Okay, I've got way off track. The reason why I brought up this Black Ariel crap, because it's ridiculous. Honestly. Okay, it's not that they don't care about the fact the movie could be bad or the fact that actors can act. That's not what most of these fucking people are pissed about. They're pissed about because a black woman is playing what they consider a white character, despite the fact Ariel is a mermaid, a mystical creature. That's what pisses me off. Conservatives are such fucking cancer on our society. Actually, I'm sorry to say this, but freaking... And okay, let me ask you this. What do you expect, what do you expect it to do? At least the black community. You're left at a disadvantage for generations of poverty, which was caused by slavery and Jim Crow. Blacks are poorer than whites on average. They are at a disadvantage from the moment they're born. I do think some help is needed for them. Because whites have a freaking generations of a head start. But then again, affirmative action and all those other things are not enough to fix the problem. The whole fucking system needs to be torn down and replaced with a new one. Racism and income inequality are fucking interconnected. You cannot eliminate these problems under capitalism. You can put a band-aid on the problem, but you can't fucking fix it indefinitely. Racism cannot be fixed under capitalism. You can put a band-aid on it and make things a little bit better, but but the capitalists benefit from racism. If the freaking white working class and the black working class and everyone else is at war with each other all the time, our attention's taken away from the real enemy, okay, I'm starting to sound like Karl Marx now, but the real enemy who's controlling everything, the Koch brothers, George Soros, all those other motherfuckers who hoard all the resources that should be put in our country and every country for that matter, now that I think about it. They're the real enemy. Racism is used as a weapon to divide us. You cannot fix racism under capitalism. You have to dismantle the system completely. Otherwise, these problems are always going to exist. Blacks are always going to be at a disadvantage over whites. Always. You can't fix it under this system. The existing one fucking... I disagree with that. A few decades ago, you mean referring to before Reagan fucked everything up? You can't just say that blacks are just lazy. You're telling me the drug war doesn't have anything to do with destroying families? Why is it that the drug war affected mostly the black community? Why is it that after the civil rights movement was passed, that freaking white supremacists all over the country were working full-time to undo everything that the black community achieved in the civil rights era. This is no accident. It is no accident. It seriously is no accident, honestly. You can't just blame all this on the black community. And if you think you may have done better in the 70s, but that's because there was a brief time where African Americans were actually almost equal to white Americans in terms of how much money they were making. But look what happened. When fucking Reagan became president, all that changed. You want to fucking blame someone? Blame Reagan for fucking paving the way for what's now going on with the community. The drug war needs to stop if we want to, the drug war needs to stop. That's a step in the right direction. Oh, Libya, Barack Obama fucking brought slavery back to one of the most prosperous countries in Libya. I have no love for Obama. Obama was a piece of shit. He truly was. But to be fair, I think all of our presidents were pieces of shit. I don't have love for any U.S. president. I think they're all scum. They're all war criminals. They're all mass murderers. Honestly, in one way or another. So you're not going to get me to actually love Obama. I hate Obama almost as much as I hate Trump. Obama was a piece of shit imperialist that has made the problems of the Middle East even worse. Yeah, but it mostly affects the African American community, which is the reason why it was started to begin with. If you actually study these things in more details, they do it to actually primarily affect the black community. Even if it affects everyone else, they target the blacks the most. Which I find, I don't care. Obama was a piece of shit. I don't care what his race was. Obama was a piece of shit. He truly was. He made up all these promises, like he was going to do this and do that. And look what happened. He didn't do shit. He made the problem even worse. Domestically and fucking, in fucking the Middle East. Obama did things that Republicans could only dream of. Obama paved the way for the piece of shit president we have now. And that's what pisses me off about liberals. Liberals fucking, praise Obama like he's this great president. Oh, he's so classy. Oh, I miss Obama. Obama was a piece of shit. He deported more immigrants than any president before him. He was a moderate Republican. Even if he said this himself, if he was president in the 80s, he'd be a moderate Republican. If that isn't telling, I don't know what is. Obama was a piece of shit. I don't know how many times I have to say this because there's some people that think that I fucking support Obama. I fucking hate Obama as well. He was a war criminal just like his predecessor, George W. Bush. Not to mention, Michelle Obama, his wife, said that George W. Bush is her partner in crime. I wonder what she means by that. Fuck. Joe Biden is an idiot. Joe Sleepy Biden is so stupid. He doesn't offer anything. Joe Biden is a piece of shit too. He fought against freaking all the fucking things that advanced black people. I'm not gonna say that freaking Democrats aren't bad for blacks. They are. They're horrible. But Republicans are even worse. What we need is a third party. And I'm going by non-violent means because I believe in revolution, not reform. But if we're going to do it through, reform, we need to fucking go for a third party. Fuck the Republicans and the Democrats. They're bad for everybody. I actually think the Democrats are worse because the freaking Democrats pretend to be your friend, but they're really not. And they're racist too. Don't fucking let that fool you, anyone. Honestly, let's not bring up the abortion topic here because that's another can of worms. To be honest, I have mixed feelings towards military veterans. I'm not going to say it on this stream. Yeah, but I have a question. Since when it comes to abortion, what about the child after it's born? Honestly. Okay, what happens to the child after it's born? Why is it that people who are pro-life don't want freaking health care or freaking any sort of welfare to provide for that child? I'm sorry. It's, okay, I'm not for late-term abortions. I'm not for that. But a woman has a right to do what she wants with her body unless it's a late-term abortion or if it's going to endanger the woman's life. Or the case of incest. But seriously, this abortion debate, men need to stay the fuck out of what a woman does with her body. I'm pro-choice. I'm sorry. Progressives in America, B-level, are a joke. They really are a joke. The left in general in America is a joke. They're so busy with their petty bullshit with it's ridiculous. The left don't realize how fucked we really are, truly are, because they're too busy fighting each other, which unfortunately is a thing that's been going on for centuries. It's probably not going to change anytime soon. But at least in other countries, Japan, the left have more respect in Japan. The Communist Party is actually a viable party in Japan. In the United States, the Communist Party is barely different from the mainstream parties that we have here. I mean, they supported Hillary Clinton, for God's sake. I have no respect for the first world left in America. They're a joke. I wouldn't. No, I disagree. The Republicans are far more racist than the Democrats. Far more racist. They are way more racist than the Democrats. Just because you talk about race doesn't make you a racist. I think you're misunderstanding of what racism actually is. But the Democrats, they do talk about race, but don't really do anything about it. In fact, they help the Republicans, in fact, which... Conservatives are full of shit. They're not for small government, honestly. Conservatives, the government always increases when conservatives are in fucking power. It's ridiculous to assume otherwise. Conservatives don't believe in small government. They don't. They're full of shit. They're pro-authority. Conservatives are so dishonest on, what their goals are. I don't believe a single thing a conservatives has to say. Honestly, if anything, what we need is to ditch both of these parties and fucking vote third party. If we want to do it the non-violent way. Because at this point, we're getting to a point where a violent revolution is going to be inevitable. Because voting Republican and Democrat isn't going to fucking work. Okay, let's imagine a hypothetical scenario. Bernie Sanders wins the primary and he wins the presidency. What will Bernie Sanders actually do? He won't accomplish jack shit. With a mostly Republican Congress, with a mostly Republican freaking, Supreme Court, Bernie Sanders, everything he said he would do would be fucking blocked. In fact, if you thought they freaking were going to be aggressive towards Obama, Bernie Sanders would be even worse. So no, Bernie Sanders has no chance. I'm not saying this because I hate the man. I'm saying this as a realist. If we really want change, we need to stop voting for Republicans and Democrats and vote third party. And from the looks of things, I don't know if I'm voting next election because it's fucking in 2020. What are our choices? Corporate fucking Democrats and fucking a fascist like Trump. I'm not voting either. Well, the Republicans and the Democrats were different in the 1800s than they are now. You can't really compare the Democrats, who would be the Republicans in that time. But still, you cannot compare the two. They flipped since then. There's no comparison. I don't agree with that. I think you're prejudiced, not racist. Racist is systematic, not so. Socialism kills people. I'm not even going to get into that right now. Are you referring? What are you referring? What are you referring to as socialism? Are you referring to socialized healthcare, which actually has worked far better than fucking our shitty ass healthcare that 40,000 people die a year? And as for socialism killing people, even if that were true, which is mostly nonsense, capitalism has a death toll far bigger than even some religions at this point. I mean, dude, poverty alone, fucking 20,000 children die a day. So no. No, not even close. Capitalism has no fucking system beats capitalism in terms of death count. As people who get pissed of Trump getting elected because people voted third party, that's just absurd. It just really is absurd, honestly. It would not have mattered if we voted or not. Trump would have won because fucking the electoral college freaking ruins fucking everything. It makes it so our votes don't count. I don't believe most of that nonsense. I really don't, honestly. As for Eastern Europe was actually doing better under socialism than it is now. If you actually look at the stats, and not Western propaganda that makes every freaking non-fucking Western country look fucking, bad by comparison. And not to mention, socialist countries didn't have nearly the amount of resources that capitalist countries had. America and Britain freaking had centuries of a head start, and most of their resources were stolen from freaking the populations in Africa and fucking in North America. Come on. Considering how they didn't have the amount of resources they had, I think they did pretty good, honestly. And if you look at the life expectancy before freaking the Soviet Union and after, it's a freaking huge difference. The life expectancy for Russians have declined since the fall of the USSR. They may not. I'm not going to talk about Stalin or anything here, but to say that socialism is a complete failure is nonsense. Honestly, there's so much to take into considerations, like sanctions placed on countries that are against the USA, economic warfare. There's so many different factors that it just doesn't fail just like that. If these countries were capitalists, they would still collapse because of sanctions. And Venezuela, before you get into that age-old argument, that's not socialist either. Socialism is where the means of production is in the hands of the working class. That hasn't happened in Venezuela. The bourgeoisie control Venezuela, not the workers. That's bullshit. People starve under capitalism all the time, honestly. Under capitalism, you have to work or starve. That is not freedom. That's freaking a ultimatum. It's absurd, honestly. And also, all these products that you're using and enjoying, they were made by slaves. Slave labor. Yeah, you think the capitalists don't use slaves to freaking make a profit? You're mistaken. All of our products, our phones, our computers, hell, our fucking game consoles are freaking using fucking materials made with slave labor. It's Have you considered why they leave those countries? It's not because they're communists. They leave because freaking things are so unbearably bad there because the United States passes so many fucking sanctions, on them that they have to leave. There's so many different factors. You need to know what a communist country is. There is no communist countries left on Earth, honestly. There is none. It's ridiculous. Not everything the government does is communist. That's just absurd. That's the same fucking logical fallacy. And let's not. And this is getting off the rails here because this is not what this conversation's about. Honestly. And if you really want to talk about human rights violations, every time if a country that transitioned from socialism to capitalism always fared worse. Honestly. You gotta look at these stats. You can't just look at. I mean, if Russia, is so great because they're not communists anymore, why is it objectively worse than it is now? I mean, why is Russia so bad now compared to what it was 40 years ago for women? Why have they freaking gone backwards? Nope. The only reactionaries are fascists and conservatives, which I almost consider the same thing at this point. I'm not saying there wasn't problems in these countries, but to ignore the conditions what cause these problems is being dishonest. Cuba was not. You're really good. Cuba was controlled by the mob. Honestly, I don't feel bad for those exiles. They're slave owners. Fuck them. Fuck those Cubans. I don't give a shit. Honestly. That's not what reactionaries is. Reactionaries are right wing. They're not left. Reactionaries react with their feelings. Honestly. I mean, you don't see fucking lefties, or I hate using that term. You don't see fucking lefties, have an emotional reaction to everything that that they don't agree with, and don't talk about what about those fucking liberals, fucking that they're overly emotional. Liberals are and leftists aren't the same thing. They're not even freaking remotely the same. Honestly. Why do I think Jews are commonly demonized? I don't know, to be honest. I would have to research that heavily. Honestly. That's an interesting question. It'd be best to ask someone else. Liberals want to preserve capitalism. Leftists like myself want to completely destroy capitalism or replace it with socialism. There is a huge difference. If liberals had a choice between decide with fascists or socialists or communists and anarchists, they'll always side with fascists. They did it throughout all of the 20th century. Liberals are always going to side with the capitalists. It doesn't matter what the situation is. They'll preserve capitalism at all costs, even if they make life for the population objectively worse. Liberals are fucking useless. There's a reason why communists, anarchists, and socialists despise them. They hate them more than conservatives do, because they're useful idiots that fucking do nothing but make the freaking situation for the working class even worse, because they do nothing. Liberals allowed the rise of fascism in the 21st century. They didn't do anything. When Obama was in power, they didn't do a fucking thing to pass any meaningful legislation that would have helped the working class. Liberals are fucking useful idiots. They truly are. They don't do anything. Even when they're in a position of power to make change, liberals don't do anything. They always go to a movement that's challenging the system and decentralize it. They're not friends of the leftists. They're fucking enemies. They're eternal enemies. You're not gonna, if you've talked to communists or socialists and anarchists, any leftists, and for that matter, if you've been in any circles, they hate liberals almost as much as they hate fucking, fascists and conservatives. They hate liberals almost as much as those, considering that liberals always side with those people. So leftists and liberals aren't the same thing, not even close. If there was a freaking revolution in the United States, do you think they're going to side with the workers or the fucking fascists? They're going to side with the fascists every time. So, I'm sorry for that rant, but I fucking despise liberals. I was once a liberal, mind you. I was at one point. Liberals are useless. Hold on. I want to replace capitalism with socialism, because I think fucking capitalism doesn't work for the majority of the fucking people unless you're on the top. Capitalism fucking it isn't cronyism or corporatism. Capitalism is working how it's designed. And I think it's ludicrous that we live in a world where we could eliminate fucking poverty 4 times over. Every single citizen around the world can live a middle-class life. And I think it's ridiculous that we're working more at a time when we could be working less. We have the technology to make fucking socialism, work even better than it did 100 years ago. We know the mistakes that were made by previous, experiments. Capitalism, we don't have the luxury of fucking waiting if capitalism is going to fix the problems of climate change, because it won't. Capitalism cares about the profit motive. And the profit motive is dangerous because the profit motive is slowly killing us. Having an entire society, based on profit is irrational. That's why I'm against capitalism. Nope. Corporatism is the natural evolution of capitalism. Free market capitalism has never existed and never will. It's absurd to think otherwise. If you actually think you can change capitalism into something else, you're wrong. You have to destroy the fucking system. It's driving freaking our entire, species to extinction. If we don't kill capitalism, capitalism will kill us. There is no middle ground on this. None of this stupid libcuck shit. Oh, but let's compromise with the fucking corporations that are poisoning our fucking planet. No, fuck that. Seriously, fuck that. I mean, seriously. Our planet is fucking dying here. We're losing fucking... Animals are fucking dying left and right. Species are fucking dying faster than we can identify them. Sources of our food can die out as a result of this. No, we have no time to wait for capitalism to fucking find a way to make a profit off this shit. We have to take care of this problem now. Okay, I'm going to answer some non-fucking questions. What is your favorite video game system? By Attack of the Menace. Super Nintendo. What do I think of the Phantom Menace fake outrage over the Spidey on the grave thing? I think it's, to be honest with you, they're just taking advantage of a tragedy for clicks. It's disgusting to me. They don't care about the kid. Just like Star Wars Girl took advantage of what was going on with her sister to make an extra fucking buck. Fuck the Phantom Menace, seriously. Devil May Cry 5 is amazing. It really is. As for a non-question, who would lead the revolution? I don't know who would lead the revolution. We're not even at that point yet. To be honest, a revolution is not going to happen anytime soon in the first world. We're not in a position to freaking start a revolution. And think about this. Would you quit your job to fight against the government when you're living somewhat of a comfortable life? Would you want to do that? No. Do you think any other person in America, if you ask them, hey, here's a gun, you want to fight against the bourgeoisie or the government? They're like laughing in your face, like, no, I'm not gonna quit my job to fight in your fucking war. No, a revolution's not gonna happen like that. A revolution's gonna happen when people are fucking starving, when people freaking demand fucking something to be done. People are not gonna fucking do a revolution if they have something to lose. This is why revolutions primarily happen in the third world, not the first world. And I'm just answering your question. I don't know who would lead the revolution. We're not there yet. We probably won't be there for like another 10 years, if not more. Okay. Oh, as to for your question, I'll hold on. I'm gonna look at. Oh, I'm looking for questions. Rant about end caps. End caps are fucking idiots. Come on. You can't. Capitalism needs to state for it to function. You cannot. You cannot fucking. You seriously cannot fucking have a government. The government works in the interest of the bourgeoisie. Without the fucking government, the bourgeoisie wouldn't be able to reinforce their fucking dominance on the rest of the population. What would stop me or you just taking up a gun and just fucking killing them and stealing their shit? Anarcho-capitalism is a fucking pipe dream. It'll never happen. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions of capitalism. I suggest you read I suggest you check out some channels like the Democratic Socialists, because and the Finnish Bolshevik, because they can explain these problems better than I could. I don't care if people live on food stamps. In my opinion, if people need that to survive, I'm not going to look down on them. I think it's ridiculous that people in this day and age look down on people for using whatever means necessary to survive. I am not opposed to food stamps. I really am not. And give me a second, I'll be back. That went a lot longer than I expected. Sorry, guys. I don't want my phone to die in the middle of this. So I brought my charger. Which is this thing. It's a portable one. So I could do this a little bit longer. I wasn't very good at politics either. In fact, I don't think, there's people that are far more informed than I am. It's too overwhelming for me to keep up with all this crap. I just try to keep at least up to date, aware what's going on. Because the problem with profit is it's profit for profit's sake. Nothing is being made to freaking benefit anyone. It's made to make a profit. I don't have a problem with people, having money. What I have a problem with is people having more than enough money where they can live 1,000 lifetimes. That's ridiculous. Honestly. Human beings have invented stuff for thousands of years without the profit motive. Humans are going to invent regardless what kind of system we have. If we have an anarchist society, we would still invent. It doesn't matter. To assume that we would, because that's the problem I have with people when they say that capitalism and innovation are interchangeable, which is ridiculous because most of the inventions from the USSR we still use today. So it's ridiculous to put capitalism and innovation, on the same level when most of our fucking, innovation that's been happening under capitalism, it's not because of the capitalists, it's because of public funding, our tax dollars. Without our tax dollars, most of the stuff that you use right now would not exist. The bourgeoisie are not going to fucking fund a project that isn't guaranteed to turn They have tunnel vision. The only thing they see is profit. They don't see anything else. They don't see how this is going to benefit the rest of us. The only thing they see is how much imaginary dollars they can add to their bank account. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Fuck Alex Jones. What do I think of weed? I don't care if people smoke weed. Actually, I smoked weed sometime myself. Nope, I don't watch Netflix. I feel for her sister, not for her, if I had to be honest. I don't know how her sister died. It was probably really fucked up how she died, but I don't think her making money off a tragedy is fucking moral. I think it's disgusting. I don't agree with that. I'm not 100% on board with free speech because not all of us are on board with certain types of speech being, out there. Someone that is promoting hateful speech should be allowed to be on a platform, considering that is dangerous. Alex Jones has gotten people fucking killed because of his bullshit. Look up what happened to the school shootings victims' parents, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And Pizzagate. No, he should be fucking banned. Fuck him. I think anyone that has language that endangers, people should be fucking banned. Fuck this absolute freedom of speech bullshit. Honestly. Because, if the right had it their way, they would censor people like me. So no, I don't fucking believe in absolute freedom of speech. I believe in the freedom of exchange of ideas, but not to the point where we should allow anyone, no matter the cost, have freedom of speech, even if it indirectly leads to a tragedy. I can't talk about Into the Spider-Verse. Favorite Super SNES game? That's a difficult one. Probably Super Metroid. Favorite food? Pizza and tacos. Favorite sandwich? I can't comment. Favorite fast food place? Don't have any. If I had a garden or a farm, what would I do? I'd grow my own food and never shop if I ever had the opportunity to do so. I agree. Some remakes are warranted, some are not. I think Milan is one of those remakes that are warranted because the Disney version isn't based off the original legend at all. Okay, I'm not going to answer that question. Not getting into this topic again. If I had 1 hour left to live, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably walk outside naked or something. That's what I would do. Because if I'm gonna die anyway, who gives a shit? If I get arrested by the cops, if I'm gonna die, I'll just walk outside naked. That's ridiculous, but yeah. It's just jeez. I'm trying to keep up with all these trolls. I don't think Attack on the Mess is a troll. Honestly, I don't think um he is. Oh, they would censor me. The right are hypocrites. They would censor me, and so would the left. It's ridiculous. It's absurd to assume otherwise. If the right were in the position to do so, they would censor me. If the left were in the position to do so, I would do the same thing. I think it's ridiculous to assume that you wouldn't censor someone. The right have dangerous ideas that have gotten people killed. I would censor them. Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro, Steve Crowder, Jordan Peterson, I wouldn't allow them on any platform. In fact. So, no, the idea that, because not everyone fucking believes in absolute freedom of speech. It's absurd to believe otherwise. Actually, it's not. It's the liberals that are censoring me, not the left. The left has been censored all the damn time. Listen to Tim Pool. Tim Pool's a fucking idiot. Who's a fucking fascist who freaking goes around pretending he's a centrist, but he's actually hanging out with fucking Nazis. So no, please, I hope you're not a Tim Pool fan. I know a troll when I see one. Attack of the Menace, which I like the title of your fucking channel. Oh God. The right act like everything that happens to them when it comes to Antifa is a fucking attack on them. It's like, here's the thing, people. Antifa hasn't killed one single human being that I know of. Where's the violence? Where's their outrage against fucking Nazis? There is none. The fucking Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, the Star Wars girls, the Jeffany Genesex, they don't talk about the murders that are committed by their people. They talk about them. They talk about Antifa fucking punching a Nazi. To be honest, I don't fucking give a shit if Nazis are punched. They all deserve. In fact, I think a Nazi deserves a bullet in their skull. I think punching them is too nice. Nazis should be a fucking terrified of leaving their fucking house. I don't fucking believe freaking Nazis deserve any rights. And I think anyone that defends their rights is a fucking idiot. This is why I don't respect liberals. Feminism is misunderstood, honestly, by the right. There is stupid people that are feminists. Pro death penalty. I'm not. This is a hard one to answer because there's a lot of innocent people in prison, and a lot of them get executed, and a lot of innocent people do not deserve to be executed. I'm the death penalty. It's a case on case basis. That's my answer. I'm not an absolute believer in the death penalty, but unless it's under extreme circumstances, like pedophiles, rapists, those people deserve the death penalty instantly. I don't think they deserve mercy because pedophiles are fucking disgusting human beings. Like I said, a case for case basis. Like pedophiles and rapists deserve no fucking no contest. They deserve to be executed because what they've done has ruined the lives of people, and I think they're fucking evil. Though I do think we should have. I do think before we do this, though, especially we should actually look at the evidence because, again, we don't want to execute people unless we're absolutely 100% sure they've done it. Yeah, execute the fucker. But I don't believe in doing it right away unless there's evidence. Let's see. Is there any comments? I I don't have enough money for another service, to be honest. Amazon Prime is enough for me for right now. Jesus. This could be considered a clickbait video, actually, now that I think about it. Most of it had, half of it has nothing to do with the actual topic. I think I might change it after this is over. Let's see, anything else? Oh my god. I know it was random that I did this video, but I felt like I had to do something. Say something. Galactic Empire Rebel Alliance. Rebel Alliance. No contest. Rebel Alliance. Come on, is that even a question? You know how I feel about American foreign policy. I would never side with the Empire. I'd always fight against it. Even though I'm not gonna lie, the Empire does have cooler looking ships and and outfits, but from an ideological standpoint, I would not be able to side with the Empire. Oh, I don't. I know. I love their designs. I'm talking. If I were to choose, I would choose I would choose the other side because I don't. I love. Okay, don't get me. Okay, just because I am anti-fascist doesn't mean I don't like, you know, the designs of the stormtroopers' helmets, the Tie fighters, the Star Destroyers, the Death Star. I love those things. They're awesome. I think the Empire has badass looking ships and uniforms in general. So yeah, as for the Sith, the same thing. They have cooler looking ships, cooler looking uniforms, cooler looking, and as for the Sith, cooler looking lightsaber hilts, cooler looking robes. So yeah, of course I'm going to. I'm gonna say I would side with the good guys over the bad guys, but I think the bad guys generally do have the cooler equipment. Oh, I'd be part of the Wookiee Antifa because I'm angry. I think Wookiee Antifa would fit me perfectly. Oh God, can you imagine the Phantom Menace seeing a fucking Wookiee Antifa? Oh, and Ewoks, that's so hilarious. God, I can't wait to do another Ewoks Unhinged. I cannot wait to do another one. I'm actually glad B level we didn't actually tackle this on an Ewoks Unhinged. That would have been stupid. Oh God. Oh, I like the Sith. I think the Sith are pretty good villains. They're some of the best villains in any literature ever. Now, if there's one thing I would like to see I like to see it made a movie one day that'll never happen because of Christopher Token is the Silmarillion. I would have really loved to see the War of the Wrath be turned into a movie. I mean, just anything with Morgoth in general would be fucking epic. Because some of that shit in the Silmarillion is so fucking epically awesome that I just don't see them be able to capture that properly. Oh, oh, look what we have here! It's our old friend Boroman. Yay! It should be obvious at this point, you idiot. As for Palpatine, if he came to Earth, I don't. It's like, oh, I think Palpatine would be cool with Trump, probably, knowing him. Oh, that's shit. I hate doing this on the phone. I'm gonna do this on my computer next time. Etiquette, fucking metacalorian count. How how would it? To be honest, Lord of the Rings wouldn't fit as an anime. Star Wars would, but what era will we be talking about? What era? I think probably any era isn't spaced around the movies would probably be perfect for an anime. But anything that takes place during the movies, no, absolutely not. Like, here's an example. Maybe the Legacy era, I'm talking about with Cade Skywalker. I think that would work as an anime because we have no preconception of what those characters look like. Same thing with the Old Republic, though it would have to be in the style of like Berserk or something. Something that's really dark and gritty, considering that's what that era is like. I just cannot imagine that. If we, you know, it would have been really cool. We'll never get it though because EA has the license. Imagine it, Star Wars Force Warriors. You know, if you played a Dynasty Warriors game, you know what I'm talking about. I think it'd be badass. Fucking fighting an army of fucking stormtroopers as fucking Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. It would be so freaking cool. Or doing one of the battles in the Clone Wars. Oh god. Maybe in an alternate timeline where Clone Wars was canceled in the favor of the Force Unleashed 3, that happens, but not in this one. We're in the darkest timeline, unfortunately. Holy crap. I'm gonna have to change this title of this video because this is definitely clickbait, and I hate clickbait. Honestly, I'd look like a complete hypocrite if I didn't change the title. Well, it did get a lot of attention. I didn't get it. For surprisingly, I didn't really get any attention from Nazis this time. If you're wondering why I'm more aggressive, I got inspired by Vosh because I think the left are fucking. We're the left needs to be more aggressive and not fucking be a bunch of pushovers. We need to fucking be more vicious. Honestly, I don't. That's even though I don't agree with Vosh's stance on when it comes to his on anarchism because I'm not an anarchist and I don't believe in anarchism, though I believe in some of the ideas of anarchism. But in my opinion, it's unfortunate to say this. It's painful for me to say this. Anarchists are. I do want no government. That's my end goal. But anarchists want to get rid of the government in a drop of a hat as soon as the revolution's over. And I don't think it would work. In order to get to a point where the government wouldn't be needed anymore, we would need to go through a process that would probably take, decades, if not a century or more. You can't just build a no government society overnight. It would take a long time. That's why I'm against anarchism, because every time anarchism has ever been tried, it's never fucking worked. Communists and anarchists have the same end goal, but how to get there is vastly different. It's one of the reasons why there's so much infighting amongst anarchists and communists, because they don't agree. that's that's how I look at it, and that's how most people in the left look at it. And as for anarchists, gotta get back on the subject. The unfortunate thing about the communists on YouTube and the socialists is they're not aggressive enough. They're too much of pushovers, and they don't produce enough content. And in some ways, there's a lot of elitism that goes into that part of the community, unfortunately. And that's why I think anarchist YouTubers like Vosh and Non-Compate, I think that's his name, we desperately need people like them. Because We all have a common enemy, the bourgeoisie. And we cannot fricking be fighting amongst each other at this critical time when climate change is threatening to kill, when psychopaths who run our government could potentially drag us into a third world war. The anarchists and all the other members of the leftist circle need to put their differences aside until the revolution's over. That's the problem I have with the left on at least at this in the first world, because we're so divided. That's why it's so easy for the right to, take power, because the left are so divided. It's always been this way, and it's an unfortunate. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. Okay. Well, climate change is a problem, Submoney. We can't ignore it. No matter what part of the political spectrum you're on, all climate change is going to kill all of us if we don't at least do something about it. And that's why I'm saying that, I feel like anarchists takes these problems more seriously than a lot of the members of the leftist community, unfortunately. I don't agree with anarchists, but they're taking certain problems that other parts of the left aren't taking as seriously. Because the problem, this is, and I'm saying this as someone who's actually done this myself, at least experienced it. You can't expect to get people into leftist way of thinking when you're constantly telling someone, you got to read this book, you got to read that book, because some of this stuff is so fucking dry and hard to read that you can't fucking expect that. And we live in a different time than freaking, the 1800s. That's the problem. And I think that's why anarchism is actually easier to get into than communism, because anarchism is so much, easier to understand, because they don't recommend you to read a stack of fucking books, or expect you to read a 3-volume series, that is very difficult to understand at times because of the time that it was written, and very dry. And not to mention, almost all the fucking books are 1,000 pages each. And that's why I think anarchism is gaining ground right now, because anarchism, I'm not talking about the real anarchists, not this fucking NCAP shit. Yeah, and I think it's important that the left actually work with these bread tubers, because we're in a serious situation here. I mean, if you look at fucking debates between other leftists, it's fucking nasty. It could be really fucking vicious. Not that because you don't see the right fucking infight as much as the left. This is a fact, and them saying that, isn't too far off, but they don't understand why. Honestly. I'm not going to waste my time debating Boroman. He's an idiot. I don't even know he wanted to debate me. He's not worth my time. He's a small fry. I would debate someone higher level than him, not fucking Boroman. I don't think freedom of speech should be abolished. Absurd. I never said that. I never said I believe in freedom of speech being abolished. You know what? I'm not going to waste my time on you, Boroman, because you're a fucking Nazi. And I fucking have better things to do than debate a Nazi. Honestly. You don't know anything about anything. Calling me a commie is not a fucking insult, man. I embrace it. And I'm not dealing with your shit. You're a fucking Nazi, so fuck you. The Second Amendment, I'm pro fucking gun. Why would I be for revolution over reform if I was fucking against fucking the Second Amendment. You have to be. This is why I fucking hate liberals. Another reason. Gun control is fucking bullshit. What? Okay, you take away the guns. Who is gonna end up? Who's gonna have the guns? The fucking most oppressed of part of the government, the fucking police and the military. I don't want to be at their fucking mercy. I think the proletariat should be fucking armed to the teeth. I believe every kind of weapon should be fucking available. Yeah, every kind of weapon. Miniguns, rocket launchers, fucking grenades, fucking assault rifles, everything. I want us armed to the fucking teeth. I don't fucking believe in gun control. It's fucking bullshit. The problem with gun violence is not gun control. It's fucking the fact that we have a society that's really fucked up in the head when it comes to fucking violence, and we can't fucking let go of our violent nature. As for him being Jewish, there was Jewish Nazis. There was Jews that fucking sold out their own people. No, you could be a Jew and still be a fucking Nazi. I don't give a shit. He's a fucking Nazi. He believes in this. He believes in its ideology. He acts like a neo-Nazi. He has the same worldview as a neo-Nazi. He's a fucking Nazi. I have nothing against donating to hospitals, but I think everyone should be guaranteed a visit to the hospital if they need it. I don't think people should have to pay for hospital visits. I think it's ridiculous. Actually, you can be, just like you can be black and be a white supremacist. I mean, Zionists are anti-Semitic because they say Jews who aren't, don't recognize Israel are lost Jews. I mean, I know it's very complicated. I didn't believe this shit myself. This is why I'm saying that I was a stupid liberal at one point. I was a dumbass who believed in that nonsense. Oh, you can't be a racist, against white people if you're fucking white, or racist against black people if you're black. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. Huh. Well, in my opinion, I think that we pay. I think it should be the taxpayers. Honestly, I think it should be the taxpayers. Why not? Fucking the hospitals should be available for everyone to use. There's plenty of solutions for these problems, like Medicare for all, debt-free college. There's a solution behind these problems that don't require for us to fucking commit violence. But that's not going to happen in America because we don't really have a spine compared to the other parts of the world. Actually, I'm not an SJW, and I know who you are. I'm just not a dumbass like you, and I know who you are, Boro man. You think you're to fool me? Actually, you are a fucking racist, you piece of shit. And aren't you playing identity politics like your boy Ben Shapiro? Yeah, you're a Nazi. I don't care. You're a fucking Nazi. No one should have to pay, period, for a fucking doctor visit. No one should have to pay for a doctor visit, period. You should be fucking dying of premature death because you're poor. It's ridiculous. It's Boroman. He always fucking trolls me. And now that I'm active again, he fucking hates me because I'm a fucking, honest person. If you're wondering, it has to do with the Andre Cedino situation that happened a few years back. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. We paid for our roads to be maintained. We paid for our schools. It should be a collective effort. One person, we have the most expensive insurance, fucking healthcare in the entire world, yet we have worse outcomes than most of the fucking world. Even even some third world countries have better healthcare than we do. And they don't have the fucking wealth. We are capable of fixing this problem. I don't want to hear the excuse, there's 300 million people in America. We can't possibly have Medicare for all. Medicare for all would solve all these problems. We just need to downsize our military. We can't freaking... I want my tax dollars to go to something that helps me and my fucking fellow countrymen. Not to a bunch of corporations decide what country they want to fucking bomb. Yeah. I think we should have more say where our money goes to. And I don't want my money going towards war. I want my money to go towards fucking, fixing our infrastructure, fixing our schools, fixing our roads, fixing our healthcare system, give fucking treatment to the people that need it, and the veterans. Don't get me started on the veterans. Okay, I think they should get treatment because, they're fucked up in the head and they have, conditions, physical and mental conditions they'll never recover from. They should be provided. I mean, seriously, we live in a fucking country, freaking, where in one breath, okay, I don't support the vets, by the way, or the troops, but that's a different topic. In one breath, the fucking conservatives love the freaking the troops, and then when they come back all maimed, they say fuck them. Okay. And I know some people here are going to bring up the wait lines in countries that have Medicare for all, but we have a wait line here. Oh yeah, the pathetic Nazi. Fuck you, Boromon. I'm not tolerating you. It's Boromon. He's a fucking Nazi. Honestly, there's solutions for our problems. They're not as complicated as our politicians want to make it look. Like Medicare, like the problem with our Medicare system. We could just fucking cut the middleman out. I'm into the fucking insurance companies, and they should be fucking put out of business, period, because no one should be fucking forced to pay an insane amount of money for medications that are necessary to live or for treatments that they need to survive. No one should have to fucking stick at a shitty job they don't like because of their health insurance. And no one should have to fucking wait until, something gets really bad, because they're afraid of a doctor visit. That's the kind of country we live in now. We live in a country, well, we've been living like this for years, but more like recently, where we have to be afraid to get sick, because if we're afraid to get sick, we could lose God knows how many fucking, work hours. We have to be afraid to get sick because we have to be afraid of being bankrupt. How is that freedom for you people? It isn't freedom at all. They don't come to us for our health care, and they come for cosmetic shit. Our healthcare system is shit, honestly. What good is it to have some of the best healthcare in the world, which these right-wing dipshits say, when most of the population can't fucking afford it? Of course they come for our healthcare. It's not the fucking working poor that do that. It's the fucking middle class that fucking do that. The rich, those who can actually afford to fucking go here and get our healthcare. They mostly go for the cosmetic stuff. It's not covered in Canada. No, that's not racist. Unless your reasoning for the actress being black, you're not racist for not wanting to see it. I don't really want to see it, to be honest, because to me, I'm burned out of remakes. Yeah, they're almost always are right wing. That's why in Canada, you gotta really take it with a grain of salt when you hear Canadians going to America for our healthcare. It's mostly for cosmetic shit or stuff that isn't covered in the UK. Not UK, America. And some of our politicians, as B Level pointed out, go to Canada for our healthcare because ours is too damn expensive. What makes me an SJW? I don't get it. So believing in equal rights makes me an SJW? Believing that people deserve to live like actual human beings are SJWs? Of course I hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a piece of shit, and so are you for supporting him. Anyone that supports Donald Trump is a fucking piece of shit. I don't care. And my God, you Trump supporters are fucking the mental gymnastics your guys are playing. Of course he's amazing because he fucking represents your fucking backwards values. You fucking piece of shit. Of course they do. If you ask me, if we don't have health care, they shouldn't have it either. They should have to fucking pay out of their own fucking pockets if they're gonna force us to do it. I mean, fuck politicians. They're not. If they don't want us to have health care, and they want us to pay for it, I think we need to do the same thing to them. We need to take their health care away and force them to pay for it, and to force them to know what it's like to have to make the hard decisions. Fuck them. I'm serious. Fuck these out of touch, fucking elitist politicians. I agree. They should all have the same health care as the common folk. I guarantee you they would fucking be sporting Medicare for all if they had to fucking suffer the same thing we suffered from. It's bullshit. We shouldn't have to fucking, we shouldn't have to fucking, suffer, on a daily basis, not all of us, but those who can't afford healthcare, of not affording healthcare, yet these fuckers, get it without actually working. Yeah, everyone deserves healthcare. Everyone does. I don't care who you are. Honestly. Fucking this half-ass attempt at fucking Medicare for all, like fucking Obamacare, isn't fucking working. We need fucking something better than that. Of course healthcare isn't free. We have the means to pay for it. Instead of fucking spending money burning fucking the whole world to the ground, we could fucking invest it here. Oh, don't give me that Ben Shapiro shit. If a doctor goes to college exclusively to make money for Medicare, well, healthcare, whatever, then I think they went to the wrong position. Healthcare is a fucking human right, not a privilege. Fuck Ben Shapiro, that shit. It's not slavery. You know what's slavery? I'll tell you what's slavery. Oh, fuck you. Blacks work harder than your fucking fat ass, Boroman. You're not triggered by facts? Oh, please. Please. You people get triggered every time a non-white person is in the lead role of a movie. You're a fucking snowflake. You really are. You fucking Nazis fucking can't handle the fact that fucking you're so stupid. You're an idiot. Unemployment, you can't trust those figures. You really can't. I mean, things are not getting better for us. People are working 2 to 3 jobs just to survive, and I won't calm down. I fucking hate Nazis, and I'm passionate about this subject. And I take this very seriously. No, he isn't doing great for the country. He's making the country a more dangerous place. He hasn't done anything to improve my fucking life. He hasn't done anything to improve any of the working class's life. The only people that are benefiting off Trump's presidency are the fucking rich. His tax breaks don't benefit anyone but the fucking top 1%. Freaking Trump fucking is making the world a more dangerous place with his hateful rhetoric. Trump isn't doing anything for America to make it great. He's just reinforcing the stereotype of America, which people all around the world see, except ourselves. Trump is the real image of this country. He is America. He is the true image of this country. And I will not fucking be swayed otherwise. He's a narcissist, just like the general population is. He's ignorant, just like the general population is. I don't care if I lose subscribers over this. Oh, fuck you. I know who you are. You're not gonna fuck you. He's a fucking misogynist. He's a fucking pedophile. He's a fucking rapist. He mocks fucking, victims of fucking rape. Trump is a piece of shit. He hasn't done anything positive for this country. He represents the worst aspects of this country. The aspects that the whole world has seen for decades, that we refuse to see. We're violent. We're judgmental. No, America was funded for the rich, by the rich. It wasn't funded for anyone. The Founding Fathers are pieces of shit, too. You're not going to get me to respect the Founding Fathers. None of them but Thomas Paine was worth a shit. Yeah, I'm. That's what. You know what? That's who I am. I like it. If I conform to what's popular, I wouldn't be me. Jeremy won't fucking challenge you to a debate me level. He's a coward. He would look like a fool. Oh yeah, Trump making fun of people who are disabled. I'm not. I'm disabled myself, even though I don't look like it. Hold on, I'm gonna wait before I block this person. He was still a hypocrite. He still was. I understand. Honestly. He wasn't as bad as some of the other members of the Founding Fathers, but he wasn't worth that much either. Honestly, he didn't invent. As for Thomas Jefferson inventing freedom of speech, yes, this is nonsense. Who fucking wrote The Rights of Man? Thomas Paine. Who wrote The Age of Reason? Thomas Paine. So fuck off. Thomas Paine is one of the most influential members of the Founding Fathers, and you're a fucking idiot if you think the Founding Fathers were not influenced by his writings to some extent. I don't care. No, he didn't. He wasn't a great man. Thomas Paine was a great man. Aren't you a fanboy of fucking one of the worst presidents in history? I don't fucking know how much accounts he has. He's more pathetic than Andre at this point. Though I'm going to be surprised if he trolls my streams again, but I'm not talking about him. There's a huge difference. What do I gain by debating Boroman? I don't gain anything. His subscribers are not going to fucking be swayed either way. If I would debate anyone, it'd be someone higher up than him, way higher up than him. Someone like Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro or freaking. I'm not saying I would debate these people. I'm saying I would debate someone like that, not fucking Boroman. Oh, Thomas Paine. I'm not surprised you don't know who he is. Most of people that know who he is. Type The Rights of Man. Honestly, he's one of the people that he was one of the founding fathers that inspired the American and French revolutions. He's one of the most influential people of the 18th century. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's too much is a bitch all the time. There isn't anything good about her. If anything, Hillary Clinton is the Joker, and Trump is Two-Face. Of course he was racist. I'm not saying he isn't. Then again, almost every person was racist at that time, including Karl Marx. Using it as a criticism is not really valid, to be honestly. It is valid. It acknowledges the bad things, but everyone was racist back then. So did Friedrich Nietzsche. He hated frickin' Germans too. And as for him hating Germans, he was German himself. What is wrong with you? Never mind. No, he wasn't. He was French. Never mind. Friedrich Nietzsche hated Germans. He truly did. Thomas Paine, even if he may have been a racist, so what? I'm not saying that because I'm defending racism. I'm saying that because every single person at that time was racist. I hate Israelis because Israelis are fucking committing genocide against Palestinians. I hate Israelis because they're fucking pieces of shit that fucking are no better than the Nazis are, and they're committing a fucking Holocaust. And the United States is defending them. So fuck Israelis. I don't care if I lose my streaming rights for this. Israel is not a legitimate state. I don't know enough about Nietzsche. I've only read one of his writings, and that was the Antichrist. I mean, we're back to the founding to people like Thomas Paine. I mean, 100 or 200 years from now, we'll probably be looked at as racist ourselves because of ideas change, ideas evolve. Honestly, and we can't deny that Thomas Paine was an influence on this country. I don't think America would be where it is today if it weren't for Thomas Paine's, writings like, Common Sense, The Rights of Man, and Age of Reason. Those are influential works. As for Darwin, I don't know enough about Darwin to talk about him, but he is an influential, figure, and you cannot. Of course, he's been misinterpreted by fascists who use his work to reinforce their racist ideas. Yeah, be level, but most of the population almost support Israel. Most of them. They support what they're doing. They chant the death of Palestinians. They're crazy. The Israelis. Honestly, they're no better than the fucking Saudis. They're nowhere near as bad as the Saudis, but they're fucking crazy, just like every other fucking population. Milan, the reason why Milan's probably the only one I'd probably watch is Milan is a different. Doesn't look the same as the other remakes, which just look like a slightly different version of the original. I don't know. It looks promising, though my beef with it is I think it should have been. I think the character should be speaking Chinese, not English. And I think the director should be. It should be an all Chinese cast going from the. I think it should be shown in China first, and I think director from China should be the one that's actually directing it, not someone in America that knows jack shit about Chinese culture. I don't really care for Johnny Depp. If George Carlin was alive today, the right would despise him. They really would hate him. Even though George Carlin made fun of everyone, he made fun of the right a lot more than anyone. They would consider him an SJW. The freaking right would. Which is ironic, because if you look at leftist circles, he's quoted so often by the left, especially on Facebook, that George Carlin is more compatible with leftist ideas than rightist ones. Trump, he fucking mocked everyone. He would have a field day with the fucking Trump administration. He really would have a field day. Oh, sandwich. It's not uncomfortable. I just don't have a favorite sandwich really. Maybe if you want to, maybe like tuna or a Subway style sandwich, like spicy Italian. That's my favorite sandwich. If that's what you want to know. It just, to me, like, for me, when it comes to movies that are based on foreign legends, I think the person, the people that involved, they should be the ones that are directing the movie, and these should be the ones that are making the movie because it's based on their fucking legend, not ours. I can't come on Howard Stern. I haven't watched him in years, in many years, so I can't comment. So I don't know about Howard Stern. I do. There's other people that I do like. Jimmy Dore, who's who's one of my favorite commentators on YouTube. I like the fact that he's a comedian, yet he's managed to deliver better news than fucking the corporate media. Yeah, Jimmy Dore is awesome. I would like to see I would like to see more people like him. Honestly, not unfunny fucking people like Steve Crowder, who all his fucking humor is just racist jokes or making fun of fucking people for their appearance. It's like, yeah, fuck Steve Crowder. I've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but then again, I was a young idiot who couldn't really appreciate movies. I might think of it differently today. Who defended Columbus? Who are you talking about? Who defended Columbus? Oh, you talking about Steve Crowder? Of course he did. He's a fucking racist piece of shit. Of course he's gonna defend fucking people like freaking Columbus, who single-handedly freaking. Oh god, don't get me started on Columbus. He was a piece of shit. He murdered fucking so many fucking people, and he started the slave trade. Fucking even his own fucking crew hated him. He was an idiot. He is a moron. This fucking retard that fucking is celebrated as a great hero, even though he was a moron. Of course he was going to defend fucking Columbus. He'll defend fucking anyone that agrees with his ideology. Fucking Steve Crowder hates brown people. He hates anyone that isn't fucking white. So of course he's going to defend those people. You're a small fry. I'm not debating you. I don't know if you're trolling or you're really stupid. Either way, I'm not wasting my time with a useless troll. Yeah, Jesus, Boroman is just trolling hard today. Oh, I did one on a little tirade in this video. It's kind of it's been off topic for over an hour. I know Steve Crowder also was claiming that the Crusades was defense. It's like, what the fuck? I swear to God, the more you watch these people, the more you realize how stupid they are and how disgusting their ideology is. I mean, I didn't even know who Steve Crowder was until I fucking looked at a random video, and he was ranting about fucking some guy talking bad about America, in this fucking one fucking clip about America not being a great country. That's how I discovered Steve Crowder. I never liked him. He always had that fucking, demeanor that he's better than you. The guy's a piece of shit. He takes money from the Koch brothers. I know people like to talk about the conspiracy theories with, oh, George Soros, George Soros. Well, guess what? Steve Crowder is funded by someone that's as rich as George Soros. So tell me, Steve Crowder fans, because you guys love to believe in this conspiracy theory with George Soros, why do you support someone that takes money from some of the richest people on the planet that are undermining our fucking democracy? No, George Soros is a capitalist. He has no have values. He'll support any group as long as it benefits him. The Koch brothers are pieces of shit, just like Soros is. You're not going to get me to defend either one of them. Of course he's back. He's a fucking troll. V-Level, I've been dealing with this guy for years in these live streams. I know how to fucking do this by now. I think the next live stream, I'm going to do something less serious. Then again, this wasn't really, it was serious at parts, but damn. I'm going to thank Cult of Dusty for inspiring me to do this, and Vosh. Huh. I want to take this to the next level. I might end up doing... If I do debate people one day, I'm doing it under my terms, not under theirs. Honestly. Yeah, and he's a piece of shit for working for the Koch brothers. I don't... I know, that's definitely Boroman. There's no way he isn't. Because they don't understand how economics works. They don't understand that it's not illegal immigrants that are causing the problems in our society. It's actually the bourgeoisie who take advantage of the turmoil that they've created with their fucking foreign wars. I mean, think about this. Why would someone leave their country in the first place and go here? Let's see. Let's take a look of what countries we've bombed and what countries we've destroyed directly, indirectly in the past 70 years. Let's see. What happened in fucking Vietnam? Why did Vietnamese people left Vietnam? Oh, I don't know, because we were bombing the fuck out of the country. Oh, why did fucking people leave Chile? Oh, because of fucking Pinochet. We fucking supported a freaking regime that fucking caused an entire generation of people to be malnourished. Oh, why did fucking people leave Iraq? Oh, because we bombed the shit out of them. Why the fuck did they leave Afghanistan? Because we bombed the shit out of them. You see, immigrants come here because their countries are being destroyed by our fucking wars. Here's the problem. You want to do something about illegal immigration? Stop fucking destroying the fucking world. Stop bombing countries. Stop sanctioning countries. Leave them the fuck alone. And I guarantee you, if you let these countries alone and lead them to their own devices, they will leave us alone. We won't see as many illegal immigrants because people will not want to leave their countries to go here to a fucking country that fucking hates them. Illegal immigration, is not fucking... is not as complicated as you think. They don't steal our jobs. Why would they steal our jobs? They're doing everything they can to survive. And you're a piece of shit. Fuck you, Boromon. You're a Nazi. Honestly. That's all it takes to solve illegal immigration. Stop with the fucking wars. Stop creating the fucking problems. I think it's hypocritical for this country to fucking complain about illegals coming here when fucking we create the situation which causes them to come here in the first place. It's time that we take some fucking responsibility. Instead of fucking complaining about the victims of our fucking policies coming here because of the wars we fucking start. That's the fucking problem. Immigrants are people. All they want is to fucking, take their families away from a fucking war zone. What would you do as a parent? Would you want your kid to fucking possibly die? Or would you risk it all for a better life? People don't come to America by choice. They do it because the fucking alternative is fucking slavery or fucking death. We bear a lot of responsibility for these problems, and we don't take responsibility for them. I don't think Europe fucking has any right to fucking complain either, because they caused the problems too by supporting our fucking wars. That's the problem. The right never take responsibility for their actions. They always blame it on the victims, which is useful because rather than having the fucking working class direct their anger towards the bourgeoisie, they direct their anger towards the immigrants, because you hear fucking news reports of, oh, the immigrants are taking our jobs, or Trump saying, the immigrants are rapists, they're stupid, they're not humans, they're animals. We fucking constantly hear that language. It's easy to divide people, because people who are angry, they're looking for fucking answers, and the bourgeoisie every single time use the immigrants as their trump card to divide the working class. So the working class are too busy fighting each other while they're fucking too busy making even more money off the fucking problem. And not to mention, Donald Trump fucking takes advantage of illegal immigrants all the goddamn time. A lot of his wealth is because of illegal immigrants. Trump is a fucking hypocrite. And not to mention, when he talks about fucking making America great again, what the fuck are you even talking about making America great again? Great for who? White people? Is that what you're fucking referring to? White people? That's what it seems like every time I hear fucking these arguments. Make fucking America great again. It's not about... Okay, that's why I question people. What does it mean for America to be great? Because there's nothing great about this country. Nothing. America is fucking... It's never been a great country. As for Papa Wedge, there's an actress being cast as Ariel, yeah. At this point, it's pretty much I'm going to change the title of this video as soon as this live stream is over, considering the fact that at this point, it's more like clickbait at this point. I don't know what this beef with Boromon started. It just started because I made a joke about Damian Wayne sucking, and that's how it started. No joke. I don't know. Probably... I don't fucking know. I'll think about it after the stream is over. But I'm gonna have to change it. I'm probably just gonna call it Black Ariel plus political ramblings. I'm probably just gonna call it that. No, he's not a freaking Batman fanboy. He's a Damian fanboy, to the point where it's kind of creepy. I haven't seen you in a long time either. Huh. Sorry, this video has been more political than normal, actually. But again, these people ask these questions, and I get so riled up. I can't comment on that. I wouldn't be put. I'm pretty sure the government did do that. Hey, Iron Inquisitor, what's up? You missed me ranting about fucking. I ranted quite a bit about shit. You'll have to watch it. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past him to be a pedo. I mean, that's what all these people are. Oh, I forgot about my Terminator 2 review. I'm in no hurry to do it. I'm probably going to do it sometime next week, actually. I mean, Dark Fate doesn't come out until around, you know, November. So I have plenty of time. I'll have it uploaded by the end of the either this week or next week. I watched Endgame and I haven't watched Dark Phoenix. No, I don't know. I'm surprised he hasn't trolled my videos at all. Then again, I have him blocked, so that's probably why. I have no patience for that fucking Nazi sympathizing scumbag. Of course it's been disliked. All I have to do is put a black Ariel in this video and I got a dislike. I knew this would happen. I wanted it to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if all those dislikes are Boroman's stock accounts. Oh shit. Fuck. All right. I think this podcast is almost over because I don't have much left to say because I'm just rambling at this point. I think the next podcast it's gonna or live stream is gonna be something else. Probably something Star Wars related. Actually, I'm gonna do that next time because I figured why not. I think these streams have been a little too serious for my liking, and I figure I might as well do something a little bit more fun. Of course. Anyway, people, for those of you who left, who came here late, sorry. And for those of you who were there the whole time, thank you. Papa Wedge, you probably are fortunate because this was more political than normal. So yeah, next time, I'm not going to do any politics in the next live stream because I want to do something a little bit more fun. I'm gonna do Star Wars next time. Anyway, guys, see you guys later. I'm gonna do another live stream. It's gonna be Star Wars this time. Later, and see you guys next time. Yeah, that's why I'm saying you're fortunate you weren't on this one. I'm not gonna be able. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to drink. But anyway, guys, have a great day.